in the quiet town of Ember Ridge, where Christmas lights glowed like silent prayers against the December cold. The Carter family's home stood brighter than the rest. Two neighbors, they were the perfect picture. Warm smiles, loud laughter, too many Christmas cookies left at too many doorsteps. But behind their decorated windows, behind the gingerbread-scented air, lay a truth no one dared to imagine. And on Christmas morning, before the church bells rang, before the sun even rose, the entire family disappeared. This is the story of the underdog who tried to warn everyone, and the powerful man who ensured no one listened. Anthony Briggs had always been invisible. Invisible in his job at the hardware store. Invisible at town meetings where he sat alone. Invisible in a world that rarely noticed a man who spoke softly but saw everything. He lived next door to the Carters, Daniel, and their 10-year-old daughter, Hope. To Anthony, they weren't just neighbors. They were the closest thing he had to family. But the Carters had an enemy, one powerful enough to silence anyone who dared speak his name, Mayor Charles Remington. To the world, Remington was the town's savior. But Anthony knew better. He had seen things, heard things, kept quiet because no one ever believed him anyway. But everything changed 2 nights before Christmas. At 8:12 p.m. on December 23rd, Anthony sat by his window, sipping lukewarm instant coffee, when he saw 3 black SUVs creeping down Maple Lane, the same SUVs he'd seen behind City Hall on nights when Remington held private meetings. They stopped in front of the Carter house. Anthony leaned closer. 4 men stepped out, heavy coats, blank expressions, quiet movements. Too quiet. They didn't knock. They walked straight in. Something cold crawled down Anthony's spine. He dialed the sheriff's office. But the moment he mentioned Remington's name, the deputy fell silent and abruptly ended the call. That's when Anthony realized this wasn't a break-in. This was a cover-up. He rushed outside into the freezing air, pretending to adjust his porch lights as he watched the house. One of the men stepped onto the porch. Their eyes met cold and unblinking. "Go back inside," the man said. "Is everything okay?" Anthony asked. "They're my neighbors." "Inside now." "You didn't see anything." Anthony always backed down, always stayed small, but not tonight. Behind the man, Hope Carter appeared in the window, her face streaked with tears, her hands pressed against the glass. Something was terribly wrong. For the first time in his life, he stepped forward instead of back. "I'm not going anywhere until I know they're safe." The man smirked. "You're nobody." Anthony swallowed but didn't move. And in that moment, the underdog became a threat. Minutes later, police cruisers arrived not because Anthony called, but because Remington had. The mayor stepped out of his black sedan like a king surveying his land. "Anthony Briggs," he said with a chuckle. "Still meddling, I see." Anthony clenched his fists. "The Carters are in danger." Remington took a slow step toward him. "People like you don't get to decide what danger looks like. Go home." But Anthony didn't move. Remington's confident smile faltered. Then, Evelyn Carter burst out the front door, her wrists bruised, her voice trembling. "Please help us." 2 men grabbed her instantly, dragging her back inside. Anthony lunged, but a deputy held him back. "Don't get involved," the deputy whispered. "You have no idea what he's capable of." Anthony realized then that the entire town was afraid. Everyone was controlled. But he had nothing left to lose. He pulled out his phone not to call for help, but to record. He pointed the camera at the doorway, at the SUVs, at Remington himself. Remington's eyes widened, because the only thing more dangerous than a powerful man is a powerless man with evidence. "You're done," Anthony whispered. And for the first time, Remington looked afraid. That night, Anthony emailed the footage to state news stations, federal agencies, and posted snippets online. By dawn, it had spread farther than Remington could bury it. The town buzzed with whispers. Something was happening at the Carter house. Why were the police on edge? Why was the mayor silent? But by Christmas morning, the Carters were gone. Their house was empty, their belongings untouched, their phones still charging on the counter, Hope's shoes still by the door. No forced entry, no signs of struggle, just gone, like they had been erased. Remington claimed they left town suddenly for personal reasons. Anthony didn't believe it for a second. He replayed Hope's tear-streaked face in the window, Evelyn's scream, Remington's fear when he saw the camera. He knew the truth was out there, buried, bleeding, waiting. Later that night, the FBI arrived in Ember Ridge. Anthony watched as Remington was escorted out of his mansion in handcuffs. For a moment, Anthony felt just as warm and unfamiliar. But then an agent approached him. "We need to talk," she said, "about what you didn't record." Anthony frowned. "I recorded everything." The agent shook her head. "No, you didn't." She handed him a tablet showing traffic camera footage taken. After the Carters disappeared, Anthony watched in horror as Hope Carter appeared lone running across the street and vanishing into the woods. She was alive, but she was running from something worse than Remington. "Anthony," the agent whispered, "this goes deeper than you think." Anthony stared at the tablet screen, frozen. Hope Carter running barefoot through the snow, her small silhouette swallowed by the darkness of the Ember Ridge woods. The timestamp showed it happened at 3:47 a.m., hours after Remington had the house. Surrounded, hours after the world assumed the family had vanished together. That footage changed everything. If Hope escaped alone, then she wasn't taken. She was running from something inside that house, something still out there. The agent, Special Agent Mara Collins, studied Anthony carefully. "We need to find her," she said, "and you're the last person she tried to reach." Anthony didn't understand at first, but then Collins showed him the second piece of footage. Hope sprinting past his house, turning toward his backyard, and then disappearing from the camera's view. She was heading to him. She had been looking for him. Anthony felt his throat tighten. For years, he'd been ignored, overlooked, brushed aside by everyone, including the Carters at times. Yet when danger came, the child everyone adored chose him. It lit something inside him, something fierce, something steady. "What aren't you telling me?" he asked. Collins hesitated before answering. "We found footprints behind your house. Small ones, leading to the creek." Anthony felt his stomach drop. The Ember Ridge Creek was a narrow but fast-moving current in winter. Children were warned to never go near it alone. Anthony swallowed hard. "And after the creek?" Collins shook her head. "That's the problem. The footprints stop at the water." Anthony stepped back, dizzy. "You're saying she drowned?" "We're not saying that," Collins replied. "We're saying she didn't cross the creek, which means she either hid or someone picked her up." The way she said, someone sent a chill through Anthony's spine. Remington was dangerous, but he was human, corrupt, violent, manipulative, but still human. The way Collins spoke suggested something else, something larger. "This wasn't just Remington acting alone," she said. "There's an organization behind him. People with reach, people with resources, people who would not hesitate to wipe out an entire family." Anthony felt the air leave his chest. "Why the Carters?" Collins's eyes darkened. "Because Daniel Carter found something he wasn't supposed to. Something that tied Remington and his associates. 2 offshore transfers involved town funds, bribes," and she paused. "You're safer not knowing all of it yet." Anthony knew that tone. It was the same tone doctors used when telling a family the diagnosis was worse than they imagined. But he pressed anyway. If Daniel found something, why go after Evelyn? Why go after Hope? Collins sighed. They wanted leverage. They wanted silence. And Daniel would never stay quiet if his family was alive. Anthony covered his face. "So they killed him." "We don't know," she said. "We only know Hope was running for her life." Anthony shook his head. "I'm going to the creek." "No," Collins said sharply. "It's dangerous. They're still watching you. You're a threat now." "Good," Anthony said. "Let them watch." He grabbed his coat and stepped into the freezing night. Collins cursed under her breath, but followed him. Snow crunched beneath their boots as they crossed Anthony's yard toward the woods behind his house. The trees stood like dark sentinels, branches heavy with ice. The cold bit through Anthony's jacket, but adrenaline drowned it out. He kept replaying Hope's face, in his mind tear-stained, terrified, determined. She trusted him. She ran to him, and he wasn't going to fail her. Not now, not ever. They reached the creek's edge. The water rushed violently, slamming against rocks. Collins shone her flashlight over the snow. "There," she said softly. "Small footprints leading to the water." Anthony knelt, running his hand gently over the prints. They were close together, shallow, hesitant. Not the stride of someone running full speed. "She stopped here," Anthony whispered. "Why would she stop?" Collins swept her light across the opposite bank. Nothing but untouched snow. "She didn't cross," Collins said. "Someone took her." Anthony shook his head. "No, she's smart. She wouldn't go toward the water unless she had a reason." He stood slowly, scanning the tree line, and that's when he noticed. It's something faint, something easy to miss unless you knew what to look for. A small branch snapped cleanly, not by wind or weight, but by someone moving through quickly, leading not across the creek, but alongside it. He followed the line of disturbed brush with his eyes and felt his pulse quicken. "She didn't cross," he said. "She followed the shoreline." Collins frowned. But why? Anthony turned slowly, the realization hitting him with full force. Because she was hiding from someone on the road, someone she thought was coming after her. Collins straightened. Remington's men. Anthony stepped closer to the brush, or someone worse. He pushed forward, brushing aside cold branches and then he saw it, a small piece of red fabric caught on a thorn. Hope's Christmas pajama top, fresh, untouched by snow. He grabbed it, hand trembling. Collins exhaled sharply. "She's alive." Anthony looked deeper into the woods. "Then we're going after her." Before Collins could reply, her radio crackled violently. "Agent Collins, urgent. Do not let Anthony Briggs out of your sight. We have new intel." Remington wasn't the one giving the orders. Collins stiffened. Then who was? Static filled the air for a moment, and then a voice responded. His partner, someone embedded in federal operations, someone who knew this investigation was coming. Anthony turned slowly. Collins's face had drained of all color. She looked past him, toward the road, toward the silhouettes now moving between the trees. Men, 3 of them, dressed in black, unmarked, silent, closing in. "Anthony," Collins whispered, "run." Anthony didn't ask questions. He grabbed the piece of Hope's fabric, turned toward the dark woods, and sprinted. Behind him, gunshots cracked through the night.